Start a recording. Start a recording. All right. I don't even know where this goes, actually, because I don't know about none of this stuff. Um, yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my, I guess, first ever real video here on YouTube. I've done some live streams in the past on Twitch, YouTube, all that jazz, but this is my first ever actual live video. So welcome. Appreciate it for you guys clicking this video. And I'm just going to be looking down while I kind of talk because I want to read my notes that I have here about just day trading in general. But specifically, this topic has kind of been coming to the front of my mind quite a bit recently, and it's that why people blow accounts so easily. I've seen it a lot on YouTube. I see it a lot on Twitter or on Instagram, wherever it may be. And it's just I blew a lot of accounts in the beginning. In my especially, I mean, I'm still not perfect. I can still blow accounts. Thank you God that I don't. But you can blow accounts very easily, and you need to. If you feel like you're going to, you need to do a few things. Like I said, I'm just going to read off some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about that I felt motivated to make a video about. I usually just trade off stream. I don't really stream and trade like I used to because I felt like it was taking a lot of attention away from me, attention away from the charts, and I was making silly mistakes that I don't really make. I am a seven-figure trader trading futures prop firms. I've also traded, I sometimes trade my own capital, which I don't trade my own capital right now, just because I feel like the prop firm space is so good with how much money they give you, the leverage, everything like that. And I only have to risk maybe, a couple $100 on an account. Boom, I can get payouts. It's nice. So um, this is what I really realized the other day when I was trading myself is that a lot of people, when they are trading, they are not afraid to buy a challenge or an evaluation or whatever and trade it to pass it, right? But then the minute you do pass it, out of nowhere, you stop trading the same way. You are afraid of, oh, what if I don't make the 20-30% rule? If I, don't make the $200 a day, what happens if I blow it? What happens if, and immediately like this, you're thinking negatively about something that you just passed, right? You did the work, you passed the account, and now you're like, the minute you get activated into live, you're like, oh man, what do I do? Well, I gotta switch up the strategy. I gotta go from maybe like the 5 minute. I gotta go to the 15 now, or I gotta go from the 1 minute to the 5 minute. You're doing it wrong. If I stopped trading like this, like over a year ago when I first started prop firms and passing them like over a year ago now, I would have made a lot more money a lot faster and just kept going with it, right? But what ends up happening is that you worked so hard to pass whether it's a Forex prop firm or a futures prop firm. By the way, you should probably only be trading futures prop firms. That's just me personally, because I used to trade with FTMO and a bunch of other Forex prop firms, and futures is just, once I made the transition like last year, early this year, I just seen like it's so much better for me, especially trading NQ, ES, even gold, just a lot better. So uh, like I said, to go back to my point, you guys are trading. You're trading this strategy. You're trading your edge. You're trading whatever you find the market to do, and you're doing great. And you pass a 50K account, 150K account. You're funded, whatever. And then the minute you go to live and you're funded, you just stop trading like that. You just get scared, you get locked up, you start freezing, you start sweating, you start panicking. Oh man, like, oh, on the practice account or on a paper account, I would have taken that. And look, I could have made 10 points, 20 points, 50 points, whatever it may be, right? But the minute you go live, why aren't you taking those same trades? Nothing's changed. The market hasn't really changed. Yeah, maybe from day to day slightly changes, but the market's still the market. It's you who's changing, right? So you need to understand why you're changing these thoughts, why you're allowing fear into your trading. Because I promise you, the minute you get rid of fear, your trading will do much better. And it's not to say you need to like gamble, right? But do the same thing. Whatever it took to pass the account, do it in the live. Whatever it takes from the live to, your own personal account, just keep copy and pasting it until a point where maybe it stops working, right? Like, I can give you the example. My Edge stopped working at one point for a couple of weeks, and I felt like, oh man, what happened, right? And then I just kept refining it and looking at live. And I said, okay, the market's changed a little bit. We were balancing out, which I prefer to trade a balanced market. But now we're just reaching all-time highs. We're just doing nothing but ripping up. So now I need to adapt, go back into the markets and say, hey, I need to just trade with the market. I need to not fight the market. I need to stop shorting the highs, and I need to wait for a bounce and a retest or get in on a break, whatever it may be, right? And I'm going to make videos later on about how I'm like how I became a seven-figure trader and all this stuff. I'm not here to gloat. I'm not here to like brag about my accomplishments, the cars, watches, whatever it may be. That I see a lot of like YouTubers, Instagram, and I get why they do it. Of course, I'm not stupid, but I just wanted to help out people instead of just gloating or bragging or boasting about all the accomplishments, like my biggest day ever being like 50, 60 grand. I've had 40K days, 20K days, whatever. It's like, I just want to make a video to help out somebody who, yes, that stuff is cool because it puts it in your brain that what's achievable, but it doesn't give you, what it really takes to be from prop firms to funded or to live, right? So, like I said, don't whatever you did to pass the evaluation, unless you gambled it, right? Like if you gambled the prop firm, the evaluation, and you just, hedged a position and you got really lucky on a news day, then yeah, of course, you're not really trading. I'm talking to the people who are, hey, this is my edge. I bought, a prop account. I have a really high win rate of passing them. Cool. That's awesome. Now we need to just continue doing that. And yeah, that's just, you got to continue doing it. That's all. Sorry, I kind of rambled. This is like my first ever real YouTube video, so bear with me as I trying to get all my thoughts. I wrote down some of them, but I don't have like a script, and I will get better at this, so just bear with me. But one thing too that I used to get really, really bothered me that I used to do was especially with Apex. So when I went over from Forex side to future side, Apex was my first prop firm that I passed. Like I bought like 10 accounts, I passed them all. And the worst thing that I did was I was profitable, but I was so worried about all these rules, right? On the like FTMO and all these other side, it wasn't like you had to make a 30% what is it called? I can't even remember what Apex does now. It's like a 30%, 20% rule, like a consistency. That's what it is. Your consistency rule. A lot of those Forex ones didn't do that. So just kind of weird. And wasn't used to it. And I remember thinking like, okay, I'm up whatever X amount of money. Okay, today I made on these 10 accounts, I made like $800 per account. Then the next day I made 700 per account. Then one day I made like 3,000. Then the next day I lost like 1,500. Whatever it was, I just wasn't used to it because I had eventually ended up losing the accounts because not because of their rules in particular. And this is not a blaming Apex. I'm not blaming Apex in any way. Their rules are their rules. You better like it if you want to get their payouts, right? It was just like NinjaTrader ended up not putting a stop loss. I blew the accounts. It's okay. But I know when I went from passing them into going live with the accounts, it felt like I was more focused on all the rules and less focused on the profitability. Should I take this trade with X amount of risk? I want to risk, let's say, 2 points. If this trade doesn't go in my favor, I lose 2 points or I have the potential to make 8 points, right? And I do everything on a point-based system. I'm not really I don't really look at the amount of money I'm risking as I look at it like per point. I kind of know off the top of my head, of course, like, if I'm risking 10 points, that's crazy. But like I said, I'm going to make more videos. I've got literally plenty of notepads and sheets of videos. So if you guys like this video, continue to, support it, like it, do all that fun YouTube jazz. I don't really care that much about the whole YouTube thing. I'm just making videos to make videos. Like I said, why not? Everyone else always says you should do it, so why not? Just try it out. Um, sorry, I'm a bit of a rambler. Uh, Scaling back. So another big thing that if you're so afraid to get into the live markets, especially, so I'm going to say this in the futures perspective, is that you should, excuse me, you should scale back. So if you trade NQ, ES, GC, YM, go to the mini or the micro versions. I'm sorry, go to the micro versions of them and trade it that way. If you're so afraid to put on five contracts of minis, do then go down and do like five micros and just get comfortable with your strategy in the live market. Hey, thankfully, I was only trading micros today. I lost like 180 bucks versus maybe losing like $400. That helps out a lot for I know a lot of traders. I never did that personally. I'm very much like balls to the wall, but everybody's different. So don't be afraid to like scale down. I know some other day traders who trade live. They trade primarily micros, even though they have like 150K Apex accounts or whatever. They'll just trade micros because they don't want to blow their account in one day. So yeah, don't be afraid to scale down. And like I said, that's okay. Your goal is always getting a payout. Your goal isn't to prove you're the best trader in the world. Your goal isn't to prove, oh, I want to be like so and so and they made like 100K today. Listen, I chased that for a while and I was able to achieve it. Like, thank God. I was able to make like, like I said, 50K days, 40K days. I've had those are like my biggest 2 days was like 55 or 60 and then like 44 or 45. I've had a lot of other days of just like, 20 grand, 10 grand, 10 grand. It's like you're not going to be sad getting these type of paychecks, right? But you will be sad is if you're chasing the high of like, oh, yesterday I made 50 grand, I gotta make 50 grand again today, and you're risking, 20,000 to do it. It's just not worth it. So scale down and say get some money, right? These prop firms operate because you lose money. They don't make money because you're a good trader. They make money because you buy a challenge, you lose it, you buy a challenge, you lose it, right? So you should continuously, and I mean this, just continuously try your best to just make money from them. Try to get payouts from them. Try your best to just receive every single week, even if you're just getting from whatever futures or whatever prop firm you trade, even if it's getting like $500 a week, $1,000 a week, right? If it can supplement your income, you should do it. So that's another great thing that I think if I knew sooner, I could have just been in the beginning, especially in the beginning, right? In the beginning, I was all like I said, balls to the wall of I want to make, I want to make like 10 grand a day, 10 grand a day for 5 days straight, pull out like 30 grand and be like, woo, I'm rich, and it doesn't work like that because what you end up doing is you end up just max leveraging, risking everything, and then you take one, two, maybe three losses in a row, and then you just boom, you're done. And you're like, oh man, why'd I do that? If I just played it slow and steady, I would have got a paycheck this week instead of having to now go and tell your wife, your husband, your whoever that, oh, I'm doing so great, your friends that you told about that you're trading, instead of having to tell them like, oh man, I got a live account and I blew it in a day or a two or whatever. So don't do that. Scale down. Scaling helps out a lot. I promise you. Um, and then, like I said, you did it to pass. The last point I'm going to make before I kind of switch over here is that whatever you did to pass should be the same thing you should do in your live account, right? Whatever it is you did to pass should be the same thing that you do in the live account. Okay? Don't switch up strategies. Don't go from the 1 minute to the 5 minute to the 30 minute. If you passed on the 30 minute and you're looking for a specific setup, look for that setup every day. If you trade on the 1 minute, or if you trade like a maniac like me on the 15 and 30 second chart, um, do whatever it takes to pass and get a payout, right? So key points, keep doing what you're doing. If you've passed, you're doing great. Keep it up. Don't be afraid. Remember, I'm going to go biblical here. God gives us a spirit of strength, not a spirit of fear. So trust in God. Always put Him first. put his kingdom first, because when we seek his kingdom first, everything else will be granted to us, right? I don't even trust in my strategy, and I'm a seven-figure trader. I don't even trust in my strategy, but what I do every day before I trade is I pray and I say, thank you, God, and I trust in him because he knows better than I do. So I truly believe that everybody should, pray to God, believe in God, but that's up to you. I'm not here to push one way. I'm just here to tell you the truth that you need to trust in him. You need to really understand that God has already done it. You need to put your faith and trust in Jesus and really understand that he gives us strength. And when we ask to make us stronger, he makes things harder, but that's to get us stronger, right? And just trust in his spirit, trust in him, and God bless. I know you guys can do it. I appreciate for whoever stuck around. This is a lot longer than I thought. I thought I was making a 5 minute video. This thing's like 16 minutes now. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to keep it raw. I'm going to try to do most of these videos kind of raw because I don't have an editor. I don't know how to edit videos or none of that cool jazz. So we'll do that later on. Like I said, I have a camera, mic. I figure I might as well make a video, spread the message. And like I said, whatever it did to pass, trust in God, do it live, and just keep believing that you've got it, that God's got it. He's made a path for you, and you walk on that path. And like I said, don't trust the markets, though. Don't trust the bull runs. Don't trust the bear runs. Don't trust anything other than God Himself, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And I will see you guys in the next video. Be well. Appreciate it. Have a good one.